Hey everybody, welcome to Man Cave Dialogue. Woo! Once
What's
again,
up?
once again, I'm your host Eric Yarborough.
And I'm your co-host, Cordero Ashton.
And it's your resident pastor, Pastor C.
What's up, fellas? It's been a long time.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Yes,
Uh,
yes.
I don't, I know we're in the Christmas spirit, but I'm in a Grinch spirit, and Caesar's the problem, Pastor. I just
Why
want,
is
I just
the
want to let
problem,
the people
Eric?
know. When the people want to know what's going on, Caesar's the problem, Pastor. I know you can't say it, but I'm gonna say it. Caesar, you the problem.
I know.
How you guys been doing, man? Y'all getting ready for the holidays?
Man, life is a little different. My kids are 24 and 22, so the getting ready is already done. More so now, Christmas is about how we get to the next level of adulthood, emerging adults. What about you guys?
For me, yeah, getting ready. We actually put the tree up last night, put the train up. It was funny how when Winston was born, his first Christmas, this be his third Christmas?
I don't know.
His
I
third
don't know. You better figure this out. Better figure this out before we get on air.
right. His third Christmas. And just seeing the difference in him from when he was a baby to being two now and playing with the train going around the track has just been awesome. Helping put the tree up and everything like that. So getting excited about the holidays.
Oh, I don't get excited for holidays, man. This
Why
is
not?
this is my best and worst time. Because everybody call me the Grinch. Because about the 15th, we just start, I do all the stuffed animals, go to different schools,
Yeah.
and I like giving, but it's the feeling that you get when people is not appreciative. And it's like, I don't understand that.
You mean as far as when you go out to give?
Yeah, when you give stuff out, they be like, "That's all you got?" And you be looking like, you don't, you don't have nothing.
Right.
Well, I know it's not our topic for today, man, but we definitely live in an entitlement culture. Entitlement mentality culture is where we are existing as a space, and it happened over time. Even for those who are less fortunate or maybe underserved in some areas, they really believe that they are entitled to a certain standard of things. How they got that message, that's to be determined. But at the end of the day, it's an entitlement mentality, and the question is whether or not we play into it or how do we help with it.
That should be the next show. Entitlement.
Entitlement.
I mean, because it's the truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
But today's topic, it makes me nervous.
It makes you nervous.
Yeah, every time we talked about this, and I know my boy came over and was like, "Hey, this is what I think I'm about to do." I feel like I can't even say the word, Pastor. Nah. You gotta hit me like, oh. But I know we wanted to talk, and C's. I know my brother over here. Y'all experiencing this, but me.
You want me to say the word?
Yeah, go ahead, C's.
Vasectomy.
Oh,
Ouch! Catch your nuts.
ooh, they just went up. So
Vasectomy.
I mean, you guys are well. He's the newbie, so let's
Yeah, I knew
let
that.
you go ahead and run with this, C's.
So,
I guess let's do this. Let us know, what made you think about doing this, why you did it, and like how was it, like, the after. So.
okay. So, beginning of the process, when Winston was born, I was in my, I can do this again mode. Like, I can pop me another one. My wife was like, I don't know about that. No.
Oh, you was banging on your chest. You was
Yeah,
banging on your chest.
I was ready to go again. And then I fought for it for about a year, her going back and forth, the whole cycle thing, every everything that women go through.
It's tough. It's tough having kids, man.
Yeah. And all that. It's tough having kids and everything like that, but they are a blessing. So I went back and forth for about a year, listening to her complaining about what she got going on and all that. So I just said one day, I'm like, you know what? I'm just go ahead and have it done. A lot of men were like, why you gonna do that? That's you, that's you.
Yo, you need to hold your thing like Al Bundy.
Right. I was just like, and everything fell into place. Kind of, sort of, was like, I said I was going to, she was like, do it on the 16th of November. And I was like, well, I wanted something. The Lord's telling me the 17th. So.
You did it on the 17th.
I did it on the 17th. That was the only date they had available. And went in. Procedure, I was nervous. And I think what had me more skeptical is the first time I went to the urologist, one of my tubes, they couldn't find, so I had to go to a specialist. So I told the doctor, I said, well, if you can't find my tubes, how I had this baby? It's hard to find these tubes you looking for.
Yo, so that's the tube they had to tie.
Yeah.
You got your tubes tied?
Not the tube.
You got your tubes tied?
You know what I'm talking about.
You got your tubes tied? Hey, I want to ask a serious question.
Excellent.
When you went to, this is what the people want to know.
You the people.
I'm the people. I'll say what the people want to say. Pastor, me, when you go in, do they make your thing get smaller by doing all this stuff, or will you See, Pastor, no. Me, I'm gonna say what I want to say. You know what I mean? Pastor can't say this type of stuff. So I'm gonna say it for us and the people. When you go in, do you come back out the same size, or do you feel like you're a little smaller?
I came back up the same size.
Okay.
But
I just want to ask.
During recovery, I was like, what the heck happened to me?
You couldn't see him? You needed the tweed. You needed some tweezies.
Okay, because I was being swollen, and the pain looked like he was a turtle. So shriveled up. Ice all over the place. So what was I saying?
Don't worry about it. You got
And went and had the procedure done that morning. And on the table, they numbed me. I told Doc before he did it that what my urologist said, that's why I came to him. And he was like, I might have to put you to sleep, but I think I can do it. And I was like, oh man, I'm nervous because you got to put me to sleep now. But he went on and did it, numbed me real good on the left side, and just proceeded. That's the first time I ever seen my balls smoke.
It was smoky?
It was smoky. Process. I think it was a little more worse for me because they had to go more further in, and
because they couldn't find the tube. You were saying
they had to do more work. So I was in the basement icing. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't lay down in the bed for a week. So I was downstairs in the basement. My wife took care of me, and I went back to work. So I was off for the whole Thanksgiving break, and I went back to work that following Tuesday.
Oh, wow.
And the doctor had me on light duty for a couple of days, and then I started my 4-week last week.
Lifting and all that? You can't lift and do all of that?
No, I couldn't lift over 30 pounds. So it was a struggle with Winston because Daddy, pick me up, Daddy, pick me up, Daddy. And I'm like, no, the dog trying to jump on me, so, I just try to stay in one spot.
Hey, Pastor, he's telling us all this stuff. I went and got just a consultation, and she's not telling all the extra stuff you got to get done. That you got to get all them juices out. Yeah. You got to flow. She's beating around the bush. The people want to hear the good stuff. Pastor, C said his part. We could talk about your part, and we'll get back to C. C ain't telling us the good stuff that the people want to hear, Pastor.
Well, first of all, let me say this, man. I guess in 20 some years, man, the process is definitely better than what it was when I went through. I got a brother, my brother and I My brother has 3 kids. I got 2. We were like, yeah, this is something that's got to be done. And kind of like you see, went through all of that. And hey, man, I'm gonna be honest, man. They had to put us to sleep back in the day.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah, bro. They didn't let you see what was going on. And so far as talking about, does your thing shrivel up? It does when you got a nurse in there looking at you who you never knew. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna know her after you didn't know her before. She just in there helping this doctor, and everybody grabbing your thing and moving it to the side and clipping and
But
huh?
putting it up on your belly
And
button.
they filling you up.
Yeah, all of that, all
You
of
was
that.
getting
You
sexual
know,
harassed for free.
yeah. Exactly. So, 20 years makes a difference. Nevertheless, man. Um, I'm gonna I'm gonna be real. For the gentlemen that I know have been through it, there's been a debatable thing about it, and it has nothing to do with your sexuality. It has nothing to do with whether or not you shriveled up or all that. I mean, some of us had that thought in our head, like, "Oh man, they done cut me. Now I'm a half an inch smaller." You go through that. I mean, that's the psychological piece of it. You know what I'm
That's why
saying?
I asked that question, Pastor.
Hey, trust me, man. When you're going through the healing process, I don't know how C's feels right now, but they tell you something about no sex for what, 6 weeks? You know,
It was for me. It was a week.
Dang,
a week. See,
you went right at
well,
it. After.
5 days, and then but I still can't touch no cootie cat. I gotta, take care of myself. Get 20 ejaculations out,
A day?
or however you want to do it.
How the hell?
you see, we didn't have that. We ain't had that. It won't no get no 20 ejaculations out, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? It was just at the end of the day, you just couldn't get down for 6 weeks, period. But your mind is so in a different space that you like, man, 6 weeks, how about 6 months, man? I ain't with this no more.
Right?
That's the way you feel. That's just the way you feel. And I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how it is now. Sees again, I'm 20 years in the game with this, and if you don't have a certain amount of ejaculations within a certain period of time, you will get the achy balls. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you. So life, yeah. you know, and that's happened with life. I mean, you got one kid running, you running with another kid, you got things going on, there's activities, is 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, man, and you wondering why, you got this ache. And then I mean, it's like it ain't one of them aches like, yeah, I need to go ahead and get this. No, it's one of them aches like this hurts.
Yes.
Mm, mm.
Okay. This hurts, right? And then all of a sudden you realize it's because you haven't been sexing.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't been sexing. But so much has changed in 20 years. So I mean, I'm speaking from somebody who's, like I said, I'm 20 years in the game with this. The cats I know are 20 plus years in the game. C's, he's the rookie. He's the rookie in the room right now. And so with that being said, it may be totally different. Procedures are totally different. The way they help you with overcoming that. I will say this, and that is, once your mind gets over, the fact that you've been through this procedure and you start feeling like yourself again, everything works like normal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everything works
But,
like normal.
when is that? When will the normal be?
For me personally,
Are you normal now?
I'm getting back to normal. Okay, so I would say I did like first I did it. Me and my wife did it, and it hurt a little bit when I ejaculated, because it's like you cut off. It's cut off right there. So, and I did, hear those stories like when you first try to do it, it will hurt. But mentally, it's like, I don't want to do this right now until I'm physically healed. I don't know how long that's going to be, but I had stitches. I don't know if you had stitches, Doctor Pastor C. I don't know if you had stitches, but I had to get stitches. And I talked to my cousin, and his wife was like, "He ain't have to get no stitches. They just put 2 little teeny band-aids on him and sent him on his way." So
Exactly. So again, for cats, I know this in the game, your procedure was just a little bit different, man. Um, no, we didn't have stitches. We did have that ice for that whole weekend. We did go through that whole 6 weeks. I'm gonna be honest with you. your mind is going to probably take about 2 months
Mm-hmm.
to get back where you feel normal, because the first thing is just feeling like yourself again, right?
Right.
And so it's going to take about 2 months, and then you just, after a while, you're not going to think about it anymore, and you're going to be okay. And I say that because, again, 20 years in the game for myself. My younger brother, he's a few, he had his done. I know a couple of the cats who had theirs done, and it takes about 2 months, and that's a mental thing. It got to the point, at least with my younger brother, his wife was like, "Are you ever gonna touch me again?" He's like, "Nah."
Yeah.
They had to be, she had to be the initiator for a little bit, because in his mind, and it was really mental. It wasn't even physical no more. It was really mental. You know what I'm saying? It's really, really mental. And then you begin to understand, like I try to tell cats, I said, one of the things that helped me to appreciate is is your ability to procreate, number one. Number two, it helps you to appreciate the fact of who God made you as a man.
Right.
It really does. It does, because there is no fertilization of the earth without a man planting a seed in a woman.
Right. But
She receives, we give. And a lot of times we approaching sex like we're getting something. No, bro, you giving something.
mm-hmm.
And when a man starts thinking about, no, I'm the giver here. I'm the giver of the pleasure. I'm the giver of the seed. I'm the giver of this experience. You're not receiving. And
Mm-hmm.
so it gave me that time to really think about that a whole different way, and to really help some dudes and kind of come into a place where they were not just sexing women just because they could. Like they were
Mm-hmm.
getting something. I'm like, nah, bro, you need to start thinking about yourself as a giver, not a receiver, because you're not receiving. And you go through that process and your mindset changes, and watch how your wife begins to act or, respond to your procedure being done, and the fact that you're not chasing her no more. Because right then your mind is like, nah, man, I ain't about to, then you will see her desire for you in a totally different way. It's a Man, I can go on and on and on about that spiritual piece, but that's what it helped the guys who were going through at that time, and maybe sees you kind of starting to experience some of that.
No, I definitely relate. You tell saying all this is like that's how I feel. That's how I feel. Like it's like like I would say a part has been separated. I don't know if it's just the little swimmers, just like the swimmers that activated all that. Oh, I want to do it. I want to do it. I want to do it. To now it's like that part being cut off, and it's like you know what? I need to heal. But even when I heal, I feel like I don't want to. I don't want to be on it like that.
I'm telling you, man. I am telling you, a switch goes off inside of a man that says, and and I wish we could get this thing when we were younger, because it would help us so much in our decision making. But a switch goes off, and you start thinking about who you are, your whole being, and all of a sudden you're not satisfied with her physicality anymore. Now what satisfies you is her essence,
Mm,
who she is, what she's really bringing to you, the energy she's bringing to you, the mentality that you guys are working with together. And that's what God intended in the first place. God intended in the first place that we wouldn't be satisfied with just her physicality,
mm-hmm,
but we had to be satisfied with her totality.
mm-hmm. Wow.
And the procedure, for whatever the reason,
Mm,
that switch goes off in your brain. And now you look at women totally different.
mm-hmm.
Even the ones all on the internet, booty bouncing and whatever, you're like, as a matter of fact, you're probably saying to yourself,
I ain't got time for that.
come on, C's. Like, what drama comes with you?
Yep.
What drama comes with you?
Yep.
Y'all don't like it.
He's still booty
Yeah,
bouncing.
I don't like it, but I'll watch it and like it. Tickety tock. I'll be on TikTok, baby. I don't care about
All right.
y'all. I'll watch it for y'all.
Oh, go ahead, Deacon E. You know, Deacon E. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't mad with you. You know what I'm saying? Because let's just be real. Men are men in every essence of the word. And I'm not saying that we're not men or that is not something beautiful to look at or the you can't admire the physicality, but something has gone off on the inside of the brain that says, I ain't dealing. I don't have time for you. You are a waste of time. If you got time to put yourself out here like this and to get however many followers, and you doing this on a day-to-day basis, well, then who are you really? That's the switch that is going off, right? And he has a different appreciation. At least if it was for me, I appreciate the person, the partnership, the covenant I'm in with the type of woman that I'm with, even though I may not be as sexually driven, but I'm more understanding of the purpose of the covenant, why we are together. And the older I get, of course, the more I understand. But that's the switch that went off for me. That's the switch.
Yeah, because I was going to ask Pastor, do you think God intended for us to be that way with the sperm cells not cut off, if this makes sense, nowadays, opposed to we have just sexualized everything, and we can still come out,
100, yeah,
without a,
100%.
So I feel like we're in a place of where having a vasectomy, correct me if I'm wrong, having a vasectomy to me is like, that's where God wants us to be right now. Just not sexualizing the women or our wives, but just embracing the intimacy altogether,
100, man. Matter of fact, Songs of Solomon says, if our sister is a door, we will be a wall, right? If she is a wall, we will be silver upon her. In other words, that text really means if our sister is loose, we're gonna be a wall around this open door. We ain't gonna let her go out here and do this thing. But if she is not loose, we're going to fortify her even the more by protecting and still covering her. If you go to 1 Corinthians chapter 7, it says to the man first, right? Your body is not your own. Why does it say it to the man first? I keep asking this question. I've been doing ministry now for 27 years. And every time I do marriage ministry, I ask every dude this question and they can't answer it. It's because at the end of the day, your mind was supposed to appreciate who she was way more than your balls.
Now you all
Bottom line. Now, yeah, we still got him. But now you're chasing the very thing that manipulates you. When she was supposed to be chasing yours. See, that was the original intent. We were never to be the chasers of that. But we sexualized everything. And in our cultural perspective, at least for the last 100 years, man, we sexualized everything to the point that we made it about us chasing them. If you go to other cultures, they teach their sons not to make a woman happy, but a woman is to make you happy. And they teach them not to chase sexuality because you as a man are supposed to be setting forth direction, handling business, and all these other things. We over here in the West, we so busy trying to make women happy that we forget. And then we wonder why we don't get respected as head of household because you're so busy making her happy that you are not whole yourself. You so busy trying to make sure you can still get skins to win, right? That you've lost sight of your original purpose. So yeah, see, 100.
What you got to say?
Yeah, what you got to say? You so quiet on this show. Any other time you just like
it's not my cup of tea. Y'all both lost your balls. Both lost your balls. Y'all my brothers. Y'all both lost your balls. Nah, I mean, I understand. I know.
Truth be told, you can go back in and they can reverse what they did.
Yeah.
It's easier, they said, to do it nowadays. They were saying if you want it.
If you wanted to.
If you want it.
So.
Oh, and you last longer too.
A lot longer than before?
Yeah. You last longer.
That might be a mental thing.
You think so?
All right.
It might be mental.
All right. When Tanya tells you that she's pregnant again, and then okay. See, his paper long.
Who the pappy, Pastor?
Now who the pappy?
They just tell me, look at my finger, because all the kids, all of them came out with fingers.
With your hands?
With extra fingers. Like, no DNA is needed, they told me.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a heavy trait, they said.
What?
Yeah. But people want to know. I want to know.
You want to know.
Like, when y'all did this, right? They cut the sperm off. Where does the sperm go?
Well,
like, I'm talking about when you're in sex ed, Pastor, you know, they had that little.
You still ejaculate.
I know that.
But the swimmers.
The swimmers are not coming out.
Is the semen a different color?
Yes. It's clear. It's like, you can tell a difference. It's like water. And I feel like for me, it's like I was.
So no more golden showers.
Not unless you're gonna take, a whole bunch of zinc.
So, I'm trying to get the R. Kelly listeners.
I mean, if you taking zinc, you'll because zinc is something that helps men in their libido anyway, as well as it's a healthy overall for your body to fight off diseases. So if you take some zinc, yeah.
So it's different.
Yeah, it's different.
Do it feel different?
For me right now, it hurt. It just has an aching feeling. But over time, like any surgery you have, that's
gonna have
something in depth. It takes like a year to fully heal from it.
So you ain't gonna do it for a year?
No, I'm gonna try to do it again. I don't know when.
Okay.
I'm gonna try.
See, he said, I don't know when. Hey, look, see, the way you put that concert on at Eric's wedding, even my wife's like, oh, he down tonight.
Hey, Pastor, you're gonna be one step slower now until he get he ain't gonna be doing that.
Hey, look, he went all the way down with that thigh. He seems like,
hey, he gonna be like the Matrix.
I never seen that.
I'll show it to you, but you ain't gonna be, you ain't the same. You ain't the same. That's when you have balls. I mean, I don't know. This type of I'm uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable.
Some people,
I'm never uncomfortable, but this type of stuff, like even when I went to the doctor and they was telling me stuff, I was like, ooh. Like they tell you, they say, oh, it's an easy procedure. Come in Friday, you be good Monday. I'm like, nah, that don't sound.
I mean, it is like that. You come in on Friday, you got 48 hours to, ice yourself up and and ibuprofen and all that kind of stuff. And, Monday, Tuesday, I guess you get your legs back really by Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just the procedure. That's the procedure itself. But just look at your response to us talking about it. I've never seen Eric, as long as I've known him, be this quiet and not have anything to say, right?
This is not my cup of tea, Pastor.
Well, here's the deal. Let me go ahead and go a little bit deeper with you cats, man. And we don't even teach this no more. But the original purpose of the circumcision was for this very reason right here. It was so that every time that a man had to go and urinate, he would remember the covenant of God before he would be so trifling as to take advantage of a woman.
Wow.
That's the purpose of the circumcision. And now we've gotten to the point where I know we can circumcise your baby, we cannot. Most fathers like it because they were circumcised. No, the circumcision has a purpose to it. There's a reason that foreskin was cut. That foreskin represented God's covenant. It was on your body. And you were supposed to think about God every single time that you had a bodily function because you couldn't have it without him.
Mm-hmm.
And now we sitting here talking about a vasectomy. So what are they doing? They're cutting, right? So in the Old Testament, every time they would cut, and notice they would always cut on the 8th day. The 8th day represented, okay, this is a new beginning for you. This is a new beginning. You're walking a new way. This kid is going to be brought up a new way. That's why they did it on the 8th day.
You should have did it on the 16th then. 8 plus 8 is
Okay.
16.
I know, but the Lord told C 17. Anyway, point is that
That's what he said, but 8 plus 8 is 16. That's all I'm saying. I'm doing my addition.
so this 8th day, right? And all the men, because 7 days, this baby is with his mom, this male child is with his mom, and the midwives and the women are gathered all around. But on the 8th day, he separates for this ceremonial procedure to dedicate him unto God. And he's taught the rest of his life what this circumcision means in his flesh. And here it is today, man. We ain't telling these cats, and we're not telling our sons anything, talking about, if you're going to get down, cover it up, and da-da-da-da-da, and not telling them anything about the covenant. But now we're sitting here talking about a vasectomy, and someone touching and operating on our most tender and private parts.
Right.
And as C's and I have already testified to this point, right? It makes you think about it and look at things totally different. Now, Eric, I understand you want to stay heathen. It's all right.
Hey, most deacons are in the church.
All we're going to do is, trust these C's and we're going to pray for you. But man, this is how serious this is. This is how serious this is. And it takes us sitting here talking about this procedure and, the mentality and all of that for us to go all the way back to the story, the original intent.
What's the original intent? Tell them again, Pastor.
One more time.
Let me tell you, I think a lot of people probably don't know that, though.
They probably don't. But I'll be very honest. God says that I gave you the ability to do what I did. I created. You have the ability to procreate.
Hey, I feel it.
So stop taking the ability to procreate and cheapening it with lust and lasciviousness and concupiscence. That was First Lady. She just walked through.
Yeah. Oh, I know the First Lady listening, but you and C's used to be heathens like the deacon. So don't act like just because y'all.
I used to go get Slurpees.
He did used to go get a Slurpee on me though, Pastor, but he was a heathen a little bit. Yeah.
I razzle dazzled a little bit.
That's what they call it nowadays. Razzle dazzle. Pastor, they razzle dazzle.
They razzle dazzle, huh?
Yeah, but I want to say something to what you just think. What I was thinking while you were talking, Pastor, was women. I think what happens is when women get on the birth control and all the stuff that they take, us as men, we don't realize that their hormones are like out of whack and just everywhere. And they're doing it so we don't implant on them, But we don't see it that way because all we trying to do is
plant a seed,
But we're not thinking, just like you said earlier, we carry the seed and we're the ones who are making this happen. You know, she has the egg. We have the seed. So we're making this happen. So for us to feel like, oh, you know, I'm really getting to know who my wife is because she's off this birth control and she's off whatever placebo, whatever that stuff is called. You know, so I'm getting to know her sexually for who she really is. You know, and I think that's to your point of saying, you know, what we have, that part of us nowadays has been so sexualized that it has to get to this point where we got to cut this part off to really get the intimacy of a woman, because they on birth control all the time. You never get them full. You don't know if they want you or not, you know, because we always getting on them, you know, I want it right now, you know, and everything like that, but we don't know what they're going through, you know.
Hey, let me ask y'all a question because we got to get ready to go.
Okay.
Time flies when you're having fun. Since y'all got both snipped now, y'all ain't the seed. How will that make y'all feel? Like, no, because you're saying we have the seed. Mm-hmm. Since the seed has been cut, mm-hmm. What do y'all got to deliver anymore? You understand what I'm saying? Like,
here's the point.
Go ahead.
If I understand your question, man, what is it that you deliver? Again, it's the whole experience that you are the deliverer. If I could, I want you to use your sanctified imagination and reverse the roles that we have culturalized in a way, the sexuality roles, where, you know, you couldn't see a beer commercial without a woman being half naked. Why? Because she became the object, when really what God intended was that you are the object of her desire. Mm-hmm. So even though there's not the seed, guess what? There still is the, if you will, the romance, the intimacy. You, my brother, if you're walking truly in your manhood, you are the object of desire.
Mm-hmm. That's it. No, sir. Okay. That's how we're going to go at it. You are the object of desire.
Amen.
Fire and desire. Guys, we got to go. Let's go. Woo-woo. It's good to be back.
Good to be
I
back.
appreciate this conversation. That made me hot. My balls are way up. I don't know where they at now. I feel kind of uncomfortable. I'm sweating.
You need some ice?
I should sit on a bucket of ice. But I appreciate this. It's very educational. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it's probably somebody that needs to hear this and going to watch it, and they have an understanding of the procedure. Mm-hmm. And that person is definitely not me. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you. And I'll see y'all next time.
Later.